It's happening, gang. The mainstream media is now openly talking about replacing Biden in 2024. In this video, we're going to take a look at the latest admission from CNN that Biden is done. We're going to see the ridiculous candidates they're trying to prop up for 2024. And stick with me at the very end of this video when we'll find out that as CNN tries to find a Biden replacement, Democrats are leaving in record numbers. You are not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Stevie with you. Great to be with you. As always, I am your daily fake news antidote. As each and every day, I provide patriotic analysis to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you're already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. And gang, around here, we're saying Merry Christmas loud and clear. And there's no better way to do that than joining together for a patriotic Christmas party. So I'm going to invite you to join me next Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern for the Turley Talks Christmas Party live stream. I'll be joined by some special guests. We'll play some games. I'll be answering questions, discussing all the things we can't quite get into here. You're going to absolutely love it. So reserve your spot for our Christmas party today by clicking on that link below. There is a ticket fee, but not if you're part of our Change America program. So click on that link below to find out how and sign up now to join us for this special event and find out how you can join for free. I can't wait to see you there. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. CNN, of all places, CNN, the most distrusted name in fake news, is now openly talking about potential Democrat replacements for Joe Biden in 2024. Now, they're not alone. Other outlets like the New York Times have been a bit more discreet. For example, take a look at this recent headline: Democrats are solidly behind Biden. No, they're not. That's not true. But then again, it's the New York Times. Democrats are solidly behind Biden, but there's no consensus about a plan B. What on earth do you need a plan B for? I thought that's the role of the vice president, isn't it? Isn't the vice president plan B? Well, of course, there's just one major problem with that being plan B, and that one major problem is Kamala Harris herself. She's an abject disaster, and The Hill recently admitted as much when they ran a headline that said Kamala Harris is officially no longer plan B. She's political poison, and so the Democrats are up a creek. In fact, it gets even worse. Let's go back to this whole notion that Democrats are solidly behind Biden. I did a video last week on a new poll that just came out. It was an INI TIPP poll. It's an election poll that asked just over 1,000 registered voters, who would you like to see run for president on the Democratic ticket in 2024? Gang, only 22% of respondents said that they wanted Biden to run again. 22%. And as for Plan B, Kamala, she got 12% support. And to make it even worse, only 37% of Democrats wanted to see Biden on the 2024 ticket. I mean, you heard that right. 37% of Democrats. Okay, but according to the New York Times, that means they're solidly behind Biden, right? Well, the New York Times told us that, so it must be true. Well, maybe that poll was just an outlier, right? Surely there are a number of other polls that show Democrats solidly behind Biden, aren't there? Well, there's the newest USA Today poll, but it found that nearly 64% of respondents did not want Biden to run for another term, and that included 28% of Democrats. In one poll, in that one poll, 1 in 3 Democrats did not want to see him running again. So we can clearly see the New York Times is once again peddling in fake news. But as it turns out, it was just their attempt to try to hide the obvious. And that's the fact that Biden is politically and cognitively collapsing and will most likely not be running again in 2024. But with Kamala so politically anemic, the left-wing activists disguised as journalists in the mainstream media are desperately trying to find a viable replacement. And this is where CNN's piece comes in. It's a piece by a fellow by the name of Chris Cillizza. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce his name, but the little I've read of him, he appears to be nothing more than a typical CNN leftist hack. And this piece shows it. It's a fawning piece that grovels over the potential candidacies of the likes of Pete Buttigieg and Elizabeth Warren and Amy Klobuchar and other casts and characters in the barroom scene in Star Wars. It is a ridiculous piece, but more than anything else, of course, it is an admission. It's an admission that Biden's presidency is a farce. As far as the leftist activists over at CNN are concerned, Biden was never meant to do anything other than just help them get rid of President Trump. His presidency is a farce, and he's perhaps the last person on the planet who should be in that Oval Office. As we all know, Biden's imploding poll numbers are just indicative of his declining cognitive capacities. Again, it bears repeating. We've talked about this in other videos, gang. The world is recognizing this. We're not fooling anyone, right? You're seeing this particularly in the Indian media, where they report openly about Biden's cognitive health. The international media is recognizing that Biden is cognitively in decline. And rest assured, America's enemies are recognizing this as well. And so I think this piece from CNN is a rather obvious admission that as far as these leftists that comprise the mainstream media are concerned, Biden really was never meant to do anything other than help them get rid of President Trump. Now that he's done that, we can move on to someone else who will quickly take his place. Now, I do think that the media originally believed that that person was going to be Kamala Harris. But do you think she has any chance of winning the White House given how unpopular she is?
No.
Yeah, neither do we. So that means that CNN has got to go fishing for a new viable candidate for 2024. And that leads us to what's perhaps the most absurd aspect of this piece. It's the incredible, otherwise unthinkable audacity that CNN has to so arrogantly think that they can credibly choose our next president. After what they just foisted us with, after putting in that utter babbling laughingstock into office, they have the audacity to think that we're going to give any remote plausibility to their shilled for candidates. The so-called news outlets actually shilled for and openly campaigned in their election coverage for Joe Biden. Right? Biden is the mainstream media's president. The Washington Post actually published one of the most laughable, ridiculous pieces ever printed of late, suggesting that the media has been much harder on Sleepy Joe than they ever were on President Trump. I mean, the absurdities that they're willing to peddle on behalf of this cognitively deficient, incompetent, incontinent man literally knows no depths, no bounds. And now, having admitted his utter failing disaster of a presidency, now the very same mainstream media that gave us bumbling Biden in the first place, they have the audacity to recommend for us Biden's possible replacements? Again, just goes to show you how pathetic the leftist echo chamber is that these woke shills in the media live in. They're so far removed from reality, it's beyond comprehension. But it gets even worse. While CNN is posting alternatives to Biden, Democrats are beginning to jump ship. More Democrats than ever are either retiring or defecting to the Republicans. But first, gang, it is Christmas time, and you're definitely going to want to check out our amazing merch store for gifts for the patriots in your life. We got the best designs in the world, like the shirt I'm wearing here. Freedom is never free. It's awesome. Look, you just need to click on that link below. Get your Patriot merch today. The designs are awesome. They're punchy. They're fun. They're the perfect Christmas gift for the patriots in your life. But they're not going to stick around for long, gang. They're getting off. They're leaving the shelves in record number. So don't wait. Click on that link below. Get a gift for the patriot in your life, and let's make it the most patriotic Christmas ever. All right, gang. Things are just going from bad to worse for the Democrats. Nearly 20 Democrats have announced that they're retiring this year. They're not going to be seeking re-election. And it's not even 2022 yet. By the time November rolls around, the number may double. They see the writing in the wall and they're leaving. And on the other side of the equation, you're seeing both Democrats and Democrat districts beginning to defect to the Republicans. Now, the latest to switch is a fellow by the name of Victor Jimenez, who's a former spokesman for the Democrat D.C. mayor, right? He's officially left the Democratic Party. He switched to the GOP, and he cited things like open borders, record inflation, mass unemployment, skyrocketing crime with the whole defunding the police nonsense as the primary reasons why he switched parties. We've also seen Texas State Representative Ryan Gillen who, by the way, is very popular. He won his seat by nearly 17 points in the 2020 election. He's officially switched parties from Democrat to Republican. And again, he cited the Democrats' chaos at the border, and they're doubling down on the ridiculous defunding of the police as his reasons for making the switch. And right when he was making that switch, the Texas House seat in the San Antonio district that is 73% Latino that voted for Biden by 14 points, they switched and voted in a staunch conservative Republican, representing a 15-point shift in just 1 year. And that's all par for the course in what we've been seeing in the Rio Grande region of Texas, where blue district after blue district that's heavily Latino have been defecting and turning red. So CNN and the mainstream media can continue to play presidential matchmaker. The good news is that no one's listening. While they fawn over the potential candidates to replace Sleepy Joe, the rest of the nation is moving to the Republican Party. When all is said and done, this CNN article only goes to prove that the mainstream media, like Joe Biden, is completely and totally delusional. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video on how woke teachers are getting fired across the nation. You're going to absolutely love it. So make sure to click on the link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.